What's up, guys? Welcome to the Sports 2.0 show. I am your host, Tanner Kern. I'm joined by Grant Mitchell and Will Reed, my Parlay Power Hour co-host. Well, Will's the host. Grant, you're a co-host. But anyways, well, we're talking about sports that shouldn't be in the Olympics today. Now, I don't really know how this show idea came up. I think it was definitely started because the handball team, like the Swedish or the Norwegian beach handball team, got in trouble by the Olympic Committee because they didn't wear like bikini bottoms. And we're not commenting on that, people. So don't get it twisted. We just said, wait, beach handball is an Olympic sport? That's kind of what happened, right? And then we're like, there's a lot of stupid sports in the Olympics. So let's go through them and figure out what should be and what shouldn't be in it. So first of all, before we do that, Grant, Will, how you guys doing? We'll start with Grant because I think we heard his feelings on Parlay Power Hour today, Will.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever. I haven't taken any abuse in at least 10 minutes. It's been too long.
Yeah, I mean, Grant, you know what? We're going to abuse you no matter what show you're on. It could be 1 minute separated, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 hours, 2 weeks. Don't matter. We're going to abuse you here at the Sports 2.0 Network because me and Will are on the same page. We're kind of connected. I think our souls are connected. When was your birthday, Will? When's your birthday?
It's in April.
I'm October, so that doesn't work. That theory doesn't work. But,
yeah,
but anyway,
what zodiac?
October what?
October 24th. I'm about 16 months older than
What
Grant.
zodiac sign are you?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, that's such a Scorpio thing of you to do.
Scorpios are the best, Grant, by the way. All right, Will, how you doing? Let's not let Grant ruin the show like you did Parlay Power Hour. How you doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm glad this idea came up because there really are some stupid sports that are in the Olympics and some sports that really would make the Olympics a lot more enjoyable. So I think we're giving the IOC some good ideas here with this show.
Definitely. Okay, so we got a few announcements we got to make. Obviously, subscribe to the Sports 2.0 Network. Number one, primary, important, subscribe. 750 subscribers on the Sports 2.0. No, 760 now, but we hit 750 yesterday. We're going to the freaking moon. That's just the way it works. Period. I don't need to go on any more about that. PointsBet in Michigan. Use code NOOPMT for $300 deposit match for the Olympics, $300 deposit match, and an entry into the VIP summer sweepstakes with the Detroit Tigers and Miller Lite. Okay? Detroit Tigers, best team in baseball. You're going to get 4 Detroit Tigers tickets, 4 Miller Lite sweaters, 4 Miller Lite hats, 1 signed baseball, $1,000 value if you win that. Number 3, here's the third announcement. This is critical, guys. This is critical. We have a disclaimer on this show. We are going to make fun of Olympic sports. And if you are triggered by that, we do not care. Just letting you guys know. So anyways, let's get into it. Sports that shouldn't be in the Olympics. We're going to share the screen here. Grant, this is courtesy of Grant. He found this amazing screen on the Olympics website, right?
Yeah, it's right there, Olympics.com. Couldn't get any easier.
You know what's funny? They needed to put a screen up with all the events because there's so many stupid events in the Olympics. But let's get into it. All right. We're just going to go through all these. Some we'll spend time on, others we won't. 3-on-3 basketball. Thoughts?
I think 3-on-3 basketball would be kind of sick. But I mean, they already have basketball and they don't. When's the last time you've seen 3-on-3 basketball? Like, it would be cool in the sense that, like, I feel like we all grow up playing 3-on-3 basketball, but I don't get why it's in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was at the YMCA when I was younger playing like 3-on-3 because there weren't enough kids there, it was like I didn't think I could be an Olympian doing this. Maybe I would have worked a little harder. But I don't think 3-on-3 basketball should be in the Olympics. I don't care. I'm sorry, but we have 5-on-5 basketball. We have regular basketball. We don't need 3-on-3 basketball. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of dumb just to put in there. I think it started off like the whole trend where they're getting the Big 3 basketball league in there, and now they wanted a 3v3 basketball in the Olympics. But with none of like the major star players from any country playing in the 3-on-3, they all play in the normal basketball games. No one's going to know any of these players. There's going to be a bunch of no names in 3-on-3 basketball. So I think it's just a useless sport to put in there.
Will, if you had to give odds, who's the favorite to be on the USA Olympic 3-on-3 team? Isaiah Thomas or Joe Johnson?
So you want me to give you the odds?
Yeah, like who would you say is more likely to be in there?
Probably Isaiah Thomas.
I feel like Joe Johnson's been playing the Big 3. Like, I feel like he helped found the Big 3.
I think he did, but I feel like Isaiah Thomas is looking for another way to represent the United States, and it might be 3v3 basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But 3-on-3 team is not going to be filled with headliners. That's what you need to know. We want to win the gold medal with the 5-on-5. We don't care about 3-on-3. Now, archery. I don't have a problem with archery. I think this is a great sport. Plus, these guys could shoot our heads off, so I don't think we should really mess with them much.
No, I used to do archery. I used to go to a month-long summer camp, and one of the activities that I participated in every day was archery. So I have respect for those guys who are able to hit the bullseye every single time. It takes a lot of skill to do that, and they really burn up your wrist. So I don't have any problems with this being an Olympic sport.
When I was in high school, our conference cross-country meet was held at this. It was basically a park. And at that park was an archery range. And the way our course, it was a 5K course, the way it was laid out, we had to do 2 laps of the archery course, one at the start, one at the end. And my senior year, there were people out there shooting archery, and we were running right behind the targets. And they like, no joke, they did not stop as we were running this race. They just kept shooting archery. I don't know what you say, shooting archery. Like, I mean, you say shooting darts, whatever. I don't know the correct term.
Shooting arrows, bow and arrows.
Shooting arrows. They kept going while we were running. True story.
That's because they're sick mother effers, Grant. But anyways, artistic gymnastics, we're going to say, okay, so far, let's keep a tally. 1 yes, 1 no. Artistic gymnastics, I mean, how many gymnastics do we need, I think, personally? I love gymnastics. It is my favorite sport to watch in the Summer Olympics. But so I'm not going to say anything. I think gymnastics, we can keep it.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
Good.
Yeah, no issues from me.
No issues there. Go Simone Biles. Artistic swimming now.
No. I'm not even going to let you get it out. No.
I'm not tuning in.
I'm not going to watch artistic swimming. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I just, like, granted, it's probably very hard to do. And that's the thing. Like, all these are hard to do, but I don't want to watch artistic swimming. I could care less about artistic swimming. You guys agree?
If I wanted to see artistic swimming, I'd go see like the pool Pilates down in my local pool or something. I don't need to see.
Go sign up for a jazzercise class.
Yeah, it's water jazzercise. We don't need to see water jazzercise.
I watch swimming in the Olympics so I can see people race to get a low time, not so I can see them dance around in the water. So
yeah, now swimming, I love swimming. I mean, swimming's great, but artistic swimming, I don't need the artistic side of things. Now, what is athletics? I have no clue what this is.
That's track and field.
Yeah, track and field.
100%. Yes, not even worth talking about. Badminton. No.
Here's the thing. Badminton, I think, should be an Olympic sport, but I also think that nobody really cares. So I feel like if you're setting this up to be a commercial event, then I think there's an obvious case to take it out. But it is a sport, even though it's not a big draw. So I mean, I could go either way with this one.
Badminton?
It's a sport a lot of people play, like especially a lot around the world.
Like at barbecues.
Play badminton.
Like at barbecues.
Badminton's
a pretty big,
like the local rec centers play badminton.
This is the Olympics. This is the best athletes in the freaking world.
Oh, well, do you have any issues with table tennis? Badminton's almost the same thing, just in the air.
Yeah,
it's like volleyball.
Table tennis without the table.
See, like table tennis is entertaining just because they're so into it, and like I'm not, but like it is. I watch it for a little bit. I don't know. This is hard. I mean, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know.
We can circle back to it.
Circle back.
What's our tally so far?
What?
What's our tally of yeses and nos so far?
Two yeses, 3 no.
All right, Grant, that's your job.
3 yeses, 2 nos. Sorry.
Grant, that's your job. Figure it out. All right, you're doing the tally. All right.
I'm writing it down right now.
Baseball, softball, yes. If you say no, I will. I was going to say something bad. I'm not going to say that, but don't say no to this.
Grant, are you going to make your argument that you did the other day where it's not a lot of teams are going to play it around the world? Or something I don't know what you were saying the other day.
Yeah, my argument wasn't necessarily that I want to withhold it. It was that I get why it hasn't been there. And that's because most of the world, or at least good portions of the world, don't play it. And the Olympics are supposed to, it's a representative competition for the world. So if the world doesn't play it, I could see how it wasn't there. But I'm not saying it doesn't belong, if that makes sense.
Listen, it's not our fault. It's not America's fault. It's not South America's fault. It's not the Caribbean's fault. It's not Canada's fault that Europe sucks at baseball. That's what it comes down to. We shouldn't be responsible for that. baseball, softball in the Olympics every year. The fact that the International Olympic Committee has already removed it for next year or the next 4 years, whatever, the next Olympics, that's ridiculous. That's a joke. I'm gonna do so. I'm gonna write a letter. That's what I'm gonna do.
I bet you it's because the France national baseball team probably won't even make the Olympics.
Yeah,
the team probably sucks. So, and there's no point in having it at their own Olympics, which is probably why they want to keep it out.
They probably don't want to build a field, like you said. But obviously, the World Baseball Classic, which I love, that's the teams that you want to watch. So whatever. But I want baseball in the Olympics and softball, basketball. Yes, no question.
Yeah,
beach volleyball.
Absolutely.
I don't have any issues with that either.
I don't have any issues with it because it's kind of like it's been there so long, but also, I mean, we have regular volleyball.
No, but those are very different things because regular volleyball is teams of 6. This is teams of 2.
Okay, so why is 3-on-3 basketball still in it, Grant?
So the way like that's still on a court. It's exactly the same game. You're just changing the amount of people in it. Beach volleyball, it's beach volleyball. I mean, you have a partner, but it's less of a team game, and it's obviously on a beach. Whereas regular volleyball is on a court, and it's very team focused.
Yeah, I mean, I love Misty May Trainer and Carrie Walsh Jennings, so I'm going to go with yes here. But again, still torn. Anyways, BMX freestyle, BMX racing. I love this. I think this is awesome. Keep it in.
I don't know about BMX racing.
Racing, sort of like the whole theme of a lot of these sports in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I understand why it's in there. Like you have racing on track and field, racing and swimming, racing on like the canoes that we're going to be talking about in the next one. So I don't mind BMX racing.
There's no racing in gymnastics. I mean, that's
but that's
artistry, and I feel like that's where the BMX freestyle belongs.
No, I mean, I think there should be racing. Now, if there's BMX racing, I also think there should be motorcycle racing too.
Yeah.
Okay, but at what point are we getting for it to be too much? You know what I mean?
Well, Grant, we have artistic gymnastics artistic swimming. I mean,
we
got
have sports.
we got a lot of stuff that can go. There's a lot of stuff that can go.
All right, I'm keeping the tally. Keep it rolling.
All right, so those are 2 or yes. I'm going with yes. All right, boxing, yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. This is the foundation of the Olympics is battles to the death. So any sport that resembles that should be in the Olympics.
Yeah, let me talk about that for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why would wrestling ever be eliminated from the Olympics?
We're not there yet, Will. We're not there yet. We'll say that when we get there because I'm going to go off, and we want to get through the other sports, but wrestling I think is probably at the bottom here, right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll circle back to that because we got to talk about wrestling. All right, canoe, kayak, flat water, canoe, kayak, slalom.
So flat water makes sense because that's the team one you see where they're all pulling together. And I mean, Will was just saying like it's about racing and just being competitive. But slalom, it's for those who don't know, it's where they have a course and they have gates or areas where they have to go through and they get time penalties if they don't hit those targets. That one, I get how it's difficult. Absolutely. If you've ever been whitewater rafting, you know how hard it is to control that thing. But in Olympic sport, I'm out.
Are they whitewater rafting? Like, are they going down a hill?
I believe so. Yes.
That's cool.
That might be pretty entertaining to me if I were to watch it.
That's cool. Grant,
you guys aren't upholding the name of the show. This was sports that aren't supposed to be there, and you're saying, "Oh, yeah, keep it."
We're talking about like visual appeal too, Grant. Like we're factoring that in. Like I would rather cut out flat water and the speed and just watch them go down a hill.
Yeah,
and,
the slalom has a little bit of like a danger factor that might make it more exciting to watch.
Yeah.
So are you guys saying they should get rid of flat water?
I'd rather watch. Well, if you're right about how slalom is, like if they're going down like a slope of water, I might find that more interesting to watch than just people racing on flat water.
I'm definitely right. Look at the picture. He's going downhill.
Yeah, right. I mean, I keep them both.
All right. They're both
diving. Diving's a yes for me.
Sure.
100%. Equestrian, I think that's a yes because that's like foundation roots, riding horses.
I agree.
Fencing, yes. I just think we should take their equipment off and let them battle it out.
I think fencing is getting a little outdated.
Yeah, I think so.
mean,
We got to update
yeah.
it. We got to like take their equipment off and just let them and like make it a little more exciting.
That's not updating. That's devolving into the Coliseum, like just going out there and killing each other.
What
Yeah.
Tanner really wants is for us to go all the way back to like 700 BCE, so we can just watch the actual like original ancient Olympics. That's what Tanner wants.
Tanner wants us to become Bikini Bottom in that episode of SpongeBob where they have the gladiators with the Krusty Krab and the chum bucket, and they go in and fight everybody. That's what Tanner wants.
See, I think fencing's really cool, like when they get after it and stuff. But like once they like touch, like once one person touches it, it's like over. Like I want to see like an actual freaking sword fight. You can leave the equipment on, but I want to see people like wailing on each other. That's just my thought. Like when they touch and it like the bell rings like that, it's like okay, it got really exciting, and then you just let me down. It's like a good book. Oh, no, I don't read much,
but in fencing, if you're just wailing at each other, that like you just get scored on so easily. That's why they keep it so tight knit with their fencing, because you know how they do.
Yeah. All right. So we'll keep fencing. You guys go with that?
Yeah.
I mean, fencing is pretty boring to me, but yeah, we can keep it.
I think we got to keep it, Grant. I think we got to uphold the integrity.
I would eliminate it for certain other options, though.
Yeah. So okay. So how about this? Let's eliminate it, and then we'll think of a different sword fighting game to be added to it.
All right. I like that.
Sword fighting.
All right. Yeah. Sword fighting. Football, soccer. Yes.
100%.
I mean, I'm not a fan of soccer, but it should be in the Olympics. Anyways, golf. Yes. No problem there. Handball. I mean, like I was a really good handball player in gym class back in the day. I mean, come on. Like I don't think so.
Uh,
Wait, is there beach handball, or is all handball played on the beach?
No, this one I'd never heard of beach handball until you brought it up. This one is like it's like volleyball. It's on a court.
I mean, if we have handball, we should have dodgeball.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, like I know you play Olympic sports in gym class, but this seems like a gym class activity. This doesn't seem like an Olympic sport.
Yeah, like at least artistic swimming, like we eliminated that, but it's something that like it's meant for like a fancy competition, right? Like handball is it's a gym class sport. I'm not saying, disclaimer, throw it out there so we don't trigger all these people. Disclaimer. We're not saying these people aren't athletes. We're just saying the sport shouldn't be in the Olympics. That's what you need to know. All right.
Yeah, because like I mean, like that'd be like playing Olympic freeze tag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, let's go to gym class and say what events can we put in the Olympics?
Do an Olympic knockout.
Yeah, Olympic knockout. Yeah,
no, that would be sweet. That would be sweet.
That would be fun. Olympic knockout would be cool. Yeah.
No. Maybe there should just be an Olympics, just like Olympics and then gym sports, something like that. Like so, you can put handball.
See, that's interesting. You know how they have the decathlon? They could make a similar gym events.
Yeah, so like handball, dodgeball, frisbee, knockout. Add 3-on-3 basketball into it.
Yeah, that would be great. I think we just solved like a serious issue with the Olympics.
Yeah, so we got to split it up. We got to say like gym class Olympics and like regular Olympics, right?
It's going to be like its own separate, like you tally up all the points at the end, and whoever wins like the most events in that little event gets like the medal. That's what it would be.
Yeah.
So we'll go Faki here. I'm good with Faki. I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it. Judo, all good. Karate, all good. More combat sports. I think combat sports are fine. Marathon swimming, those are some bad mother effers. So I'm going to go with yes there for sure.
Yep.
We talked about it pre-production. Some of those swims are 28 miles long. I think Grant mentioned. So I mean, those are true athletes. I can't do that.
Those are bad mother effers. Like those guys are talented. Modern pentathlon, yes.
Do you guys know what's in the modern pentathlon?
There's obviously horse. I know what there's horse
it looks
racing.
like swimming, fencing, horse racing, shooting, and track and field stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fencing, 200-meter freestyle swim, 15 show jumps, equestrian show jumping, pistol shooting, and a 2-mile run.
Yeah, so they're elite athletes. They can do it all. Mountain bike. Yes, I like mountain biking as long as they're racing down the hill and at high speeds. I think that's fine. Maybe not. I mean,
we already have BMX racing and freestyle. I'm not.
Well, they're different. They are different biking events. We got to that in.
True.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I like it more than rhythmic gymnastics.
Rhythmic gymnastics is. I mean, it's just like those dance on like the open floors
with the isn't that floor routine? Like they have like the banner.
Yeah, they do that, but it's part of like the whole gymnastics. Well, they also do
part of the 5
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sold on mountain biking because you have BMX, you have road cycling.
Right. Cut it out then. Cut it out. Let's eliminate it.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah.
All right. Rhythmic gymnastics. You got to keep it right because
it's one of the draws people like.
Road cycling. Yes, keep it.
Yeah, definitely. Now that stuff gets interesting. Like if it's a close race, some of the stuff they do. I mean, I was a long distance runner. Tanner, I know you played football, but now you're an endurance athlete. So you know when you're at, and I mean, Will, obviously you're an athlete too. Like when you're at, when your body is like spent, and you just gotta like, I don't know. I feel like every athlete can relate to that. Like you can see it on somebody else when they're at the very end, and I just think it's like super cool to watch those people in that final sprint or whatever it may be. Like I think it's super cool to watch those battles.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. Like rowing, same thing. Endurance athletes, keep them in. Rugby, I'm good on that.
Yeah, keep it.
Yeah,
keep that. Sailing, I mean,
how many boating events do we need?
How many boating events?
Well, that's the only one that's really in a boat. The others are like kayaks and canoes. So I think I get this one might be kind of boring to us, but I think it's got to stay.
I
might want to eliminate it.
I think I'm gonna eliminate that one, Grant. I'm sorry. I'm gonna eliminate it.
I'll put it on the list.
Shooting, yeah, I would say yes, right? Like that's hard. Skateboarding, yes.
Yeah, I mean, just gotta keep it.
Yeah. Is this skateboarding in like a half pipe?
I think
it's all the different events. So they have like a freestyle, they have like the half pipe, like you'll see in the X Games, like all the X Games style events. I think they're gonna have.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I love skateboarding, and if snowboarding's in the Olympics, you got to have skateboarding in the Summer Olympics. So
yeah, true.
Then you got sport climbing. Yes, those guys are freaks. Surfing. I was torn on surfing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would say that it's too niche for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if we go by my logic of baseball, I mean, again, not that I'm opposed to baseball, but the fact that I understood why it wasn't there because the world doesn't play baseball. I mean, you have to live on a coast to participate in surfing. You know what I mean? Like you can't just rock up from the south of Poland and be a surfer, or you can't be from Kansas and be a surfer. So I don't think that's a world sport.
Yeah, I'm assuming this event in the Olympics is going to be dominated by the Americans and the Australians, probably just the countries with the most coast. Obviously, the whole American team is probably from California. Or some Hawaiians in there, I assume, but
East Coast guys too, I'm sure.
Yeah, a few, but I think they're like 3 main stars are all like from California, and they're probably going to all medal out at the Olympics. So there's not a lot of opportunities for the countries that Grant was saying, where like they're like in the middle of the continent or in the middle of like a bunch of other countries with no surrounding water. There's not a lot of opportunities for them.
Well, you know what's funny? You say that. We are the back-to-back World War champions. We are the greatest country in the world. So I'm going to keep. I know you guys are both voting against surfing. I'm going to keep surfing, even so we can eliminate because you guys beat me 2-3. But I would not mind getting a sport in there where the Americans can sweep the podium. So I'm going to go with surfing. I'm going to keep it in there.
All right. It's still gone though on the official list.
Still gone. All right, swimming. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Scroll down, Grant, or up.
Sorry, I'm updating the list.
All right, we're coming down to the end here. All right, we got table tennis. Yes, it's got to be.
Absolutely. This might be the most entertaining sport at the Olympics. Like when you get to the finals and these guys are standing 20 feet from the table letting it rip, it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, guarantee that's a lock. Taekwondo, yes, more combat sports.
Yes.
If we have all these combat sports, might as well add MMA in the future. I think people would actually want to see that. And
I
would want to see that. I would want to see that.
With what the UFC's been doing, growing internationally, I don't think that would be too much of an issue either.
And I don't think that's too far away either. Like when we think about where the UFC was, where people wouldn't even talk about the sport to where it is now, and like a relatively 20 years probably, like from when Dana White started to where it is now. I think UFC will be in here very shortly. Then we got tennis, yes.
Yeah.
Track cycling.
Interesting.
Oh, this is the one I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Where they go around in like a little. It's like an indoor track. Will, I know you ran track, Tanner. I don't know if you know what indoor tracks look like. They're half the size.
Yeah, and they're like up.
I forgot about that. They're well, for the people out there, they're half the size of a normal track, and depending on where you are, some of them are banked. I think these are. I could be wrong. I think these are wood, or at least it's a surface that looks like wood, and they go around in circles. So I mean, I've barely watched it, but I think it is pretty cool.
Are there tracks that they're on like banked also, or that might be pretty entertaining to watch.
It's like speed skating in the winter, the equivalent of speed skating. I think we got to keep that.
Yeah.
Trampoline though.
What do they do?
Think we should eliminate trampoline.
Really?
So
trampoline's cool.
I'm assuming this is just diving, but trampoline. So
it's like a mix of gymnastics and diving. Like like you've been in the backyard doing a backflip on your trampoline. It's that, but it's a super bouncy trampoline. And they do all sorts of crazy tricks.
That's the problem, Grant. It's a backyard event.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I mean, Grant, you got the yes. I mean, I'm gonna say no. Will, you're the final.
I'm gonna say no because I think we already have these type of events in like gymnastics and diving is basically the same thing. You're just going into water, so I don't think you need trampoline.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, triathlon, yes. So that is what's that, Grant? It's a 10K run, like a half mile swim? No, quarter mile swim for the Olympic distance.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I know the sprint distances. I'm checking right now.
I think it's double the sprint.
It's a 1,500 meter swim, 40K bike, 10K run.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I tried. No question about it. Triathlon should be in.
Yeah.
Volleyball, yes, I think. 100%.
Yes.
Water polo, yes. Weightlifting, yes. Wrestling, yeah.
Going back to weightlifting real quick. I would also want them to add powerlifting, because there is a difference. Like weightlifting, they do snatches and stuff, but I would like to see powerlifting, which is just like any person who goes to the gym knows your three main lifts are squat, bench, deadlift, and that's what powerlifting is. So I feel like that would be cool to see in the Olympics as well. And I feel like there's you have a bigger talent pool to pull from because there's more power lifters than Olympic lifters out there.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this, but my brother actually placed second in the United States in powerlifting for his weight class at the Raw Nationals. So I wouldn't mind seeing that in there. Maybe he could be an Olympian.
Yeah, Teddy.
No, not Teddy. My older brother Spencer. He placed second.
What was his total? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but he was weighing 135 at the time. I think he was deadlifting like 440, something like that. So he's pretty insane. But
Jesus.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think powerlifting should be in there. And now we'll go wrestling. Will, you can start this rant here because the Olympic Committee has tried to get rid of wrestling. I think they have gotten rid of wrestling, and I think that's the craziest thing in the world. Will, take it away.
Yeah, back in 2013, the Olympic Committee came up with an idiotic idea that they wanted to eliminate probably my favorite sport in the Olympics, probably behind track and field. I did wrestle in high school. It's probably one of the foundations of how I live by. But they try to get rid of it. Everyone complained because, I mean, wrestling is one of the foundation sports of the Olympics. I just think it's silly. They thought that that wrestling would be a bad idea to keep in the Olympics because there's no universally known talent. But I mean, do people universally know the table tennis stars of every country or the sailing stars of every country? No. So, I mean, I don't know why they would eliminate wrestling on that basis. So the IOC, thank you for bringing it back, but you were idiotic to get rid of it to begin with.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like it's so that was probably the stupidest move. The IOC's does some pretty stupid things, but that was very bad. When you look at like wrestling, like the Olympic game, like we have the NFL for football, we have the MLS, we have like Euro, whatever. I don't care about soccer thing. We have Major League Baseball, we have all these things, but for wrestling, like Olympics is the professional, like that's the pinnacle of wrestling. And I think it's crazy that they decided to try to get rid of it. I'm glad it's back. Grant, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely glad it's back. I mean, it's hard to imagine the Olympics without wrestling. So, yeah, 100%. Like wrestling, swimming, track and field, those are the things you think of when you think of the Olympics. So it's got to be there.
Yeah, and like all those sports, they all value the world championships also that they have every year. But when you're able to get the Olympic gold, there's no other feeling compared to that. All the athletes say it. So it was stupid if all the wrestlers had every year would just be the world championships and they wouldn't have an opportunity for the Olympics, especially with it being the foundation sport of the Olympics. It would just be stupid to get rid of it.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, Grant, what's the final tally?
Okay, so there are 46 sports here. We said yes to 36. We had one. Let's circle back to our one maybe of badminton. Yes or no? We got to settle that.
No.
I'll go yes.
Oh, you.
All right, so staying. Grant, I know you're soft, so you're gonna vote badminton in.
I like I said, I don't want to because nobody watches it, but it's unique and enough people play it to where I think it belongs.
All right, so what's the final tally then?
So we've got 37 of the 46 staying, and in our Olympics, we are getting rid of 3-on-3 basketball, artistic swimming, fencing, handball, mountain biking, sailing, surfing, and trampoline.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good list.
I think some of those we agreed we could edit the sport a little to make it more entertaining. Like I know we talked about fencing, we could change it up a little bit, but I think that's a pretty good list.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, if we took that list and made it into its own Olympics, nobody would watch it. That's what you got to know. That's
a good way. That's a good way to put it.
That's what the test is. All right, so yeah, I mean that does it for the show. That was fun. Yeah. We should do more stuff like this. We got to figure all our little like arguments, turn them into shows. That's what we need to do.
That was cool. So we said we want to see MMA. We want to see powerlifting. We said for those smaller sports, we want to make them into gym sports. Fencing to the death. Of course, can't forget that. But yeah, I think the gym sports one is a really good idea though. Like we talked about the pentathlon. That's running, swimming, shooting, horse riding. What do those things have to do with each other? Nothing. So you can get round people up and say you've got to learn to play handball and 3-on-3 basketball and fencing. Like you could combine those and make something good out of it.
Yeah, gym class Olympics. That's a good one. Gym class Olympics and then a regular Olympics. I think they would both get. I would watch gym class Olympics. I would do that, but I'm not going to watch.
If you guys want to like do like a business venture where we start our own little gym class Olympics, I'm completely down to do that.
Well, I think instead of wearing national uniforms, they have to wear the pennies that you get in school.
Yeah,
reversible.
Yeah, exactly. Reversible. Right on the inside, blue on the outside.
Yeah. And then, I agree with that. I like that.
This is coming together really quickly.
Tokyo 2020. All right. So, where are we going to host it, though? Yeah, I think we're going
to we're somewhere exotic. We need like a good city to host our first
Disney
one.
World. Disney World, gym class Olympics.
At the top of Space Mountain.
It needs to be in like a gym, just like a rec center or something. That's where it needs to be held. So Probably like
Yeah.
like like the World of Sports at Disney World. Just play it there. That's where we're doing it.
All right, that's where we're doing it. We're going Disney 2022. Disney
Going to Disney
2022.
World.
Disney 2022. All right, guys. So that was sports that shouldn't be in the Olympics with Tanner Kern, Grant Mitchell, and Will Reed. Make sure you subscribe to the network. There's a disclaimer here. We didn't mean to offend you, but if we did, we don't care. Point at Michigan. Use code NOOPMT in Detroit. Detroit Tigers. $300 deposit match.
Best team in baseball.
Best team in baseball. That's what you need to know. That was sports that shouldn't be in the Olympics. We'll talk to you soon for another episode of the Sports 2.0 show.